Hey friends, Sean from Draft Therapy here, and on today's review for you, it's a Homes double feature. Drones is an 8.4% double IPA from Homes Brewery in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Homes released Drones in cans just last week prior to their first inaugural Nucleate festival. It was previously available on tap a few months back, and now it's available in cans as well. So let's take a look at the label, and then we'll dive right in. So the label here is typical, really minimal style from Homes. In this one, it's a black label, which the other one I can think of that was black besides Crumple, which was black and white, was Same Same Different, which they also released last week again. And that one's a little off. It's off black. It's dark gray. This one is actually black with a lot of little white kind of symbols. And you kind of look at it and you're like, what are all these little symbols? Well, what they actually are drone propellers, which is really cool. They're all different sizes. They're all kind of grouped in four. And you can kind of, if you look at it in the light, you can see a faint outline of all the little drones that are in this label. And then across the bottom, it says Drones Double IPA. Has the Homes logo here, the inverted triangle, and on the back here it says keep cool, drink fresh, and again, Homes Brewery in Ann Arbor, Michigan, brewed and packaged. It has the governmental warning, but again, a really nice minimal label from Homes, just what you expect whenever you pick these up. You know, if you see them in the tap room, if you've seen these out in the wild, you know, trading, or if you see other people with them, it's always this real minimal style, which I really love from Homes. I think they're just kind of killing it with the label game and with the beer game too. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my glass. It's my Homes Tiku glass that I got as being a first year Mug Club member, and going to go ahead and crack this open. Give it a little whiff out of the can, as I am wont to do. Now it's got a little bit of a bitter scent to it. I believe this is double dry hopped with Vic Secret and Cryo Citra. And Cryo Citra, from how I've kind of come to find out, it's basically like it's a more concentrated version of a Citra hop. So I'm expecting it to have kind of that Citra, the citrus flavors, just based on that alone. Vic Secret is more, I think of it more as being kind of that bitter, piney hoppiness that you would normally think of when you think of a hoppy beer. So I'm kind of picking up on a little bit of a citrus scent. So that's my guess is what it's going to taste like. I haven't had this either in the tap room or in the can yet. I've been kind of saving myself for marriage, so to speak. So I want to try this out and make sure I have a first impression for you guys. Just going to go ahead and pour this out. And it's coming out like a nice yellow out of the can here. It's collecting nicely in the glass. And I don't want to overflow that. It's got a lot of nice carbonation, about a finger's worth ahead. Little kind of yellowish white, but nice compact bubbles. Not a whole lot of head here. Holding it up to the light. There's also a lot of condensation on this glass from being cold, but it is hazy. It's not very see-through. There's not any sediment that I can see floating in the glass here. We're going to go ahead and give this a taste. Turn the can around. You can see a little bit better here. A better nose on this. You can smell a little bit like of a mango coming in there. It's got a little bit of that dankness. It's got a little bit of that citrus coming through. But yeah, it's kind of almost got this almost like a bit of a pungent aroma to it. But I'm going to say that's probably the Vic Secret, and going to go ahead and give it a drink. Cheers. So the mouthfeel's nice. It's like a medium mouthfeel. It's not too thick. Wow. Didn't expect that. So on the tail end, I'm getting a little bit of a booziness, but on the front end, it's very bright, very citrus, very orangey up front. There's not a whole lot of bitterness to speak of that I can really pick up. Most of the bitterness is on the tail end, and it's got a bit of a piney bitterness mixed with a little citrus bitterness, a little orangey bitterness, but it almost has this. The bitterness almost hits you all in the aftertaste. It's got like this really tiny boozy kick at the very end. And I'm trying to think, I don't know if I picked up on that real kind of booziness on any of Home's other IPAs that they release. It seems like when they're doing these can releases, it's mostly IPAs or it's sours, right? So it's usually not. They do have a few stouts that they have in the tap room. They haven't released any of those in cans yet. I think I've seen, of course, they have King Cold Brew, which is a cream ale infused with coffee, which I love. I'd love to see that in cans. So, guys, maybe make that happen. And just going to look at the can date on this. This was packaged on 6/11/18. It says we're always watching, because drones, they're always watching. So let's give this one more taste. I'll give you a final kind of thought on this. Yeah, like I said, nice and bright, orangey on the front end. Not much bitterness to speak of, but on the tail end, you get the tiny bit of bitterness, a little bit piney, a little bit orangey. It's got that little bit of a boozy kind of kick, a little bit of a boozy bite. But overall, another great one from Homes. This is, they step outside the box. I appreciate that they're kind of refining their style. They've been doing this for a year. Obviously, they hit the ground running and they're still continuing to run. So it's good to see them continue the trend. And now, on to the next feature. Straspberry Sherbet is a 5.5% kettle sour with lactose from Homes Brewery in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Straspberry Sherbet is the fifth in the Homes Sherbet line, which is the naming convention they're going with for their kettle sours. It follows Double Cherry, Tiki, Guava, and Blurb. They also have had a couple in the tap room that haven't been released, like Peach Vanilla. I tried that just about 2 weeks ago and really enjoyed that one too. Straspberry is a kettle sour blended with raspberries and strawberries. So let's take a look at the can here and we'll dive right in together, shall we? So this can follows the same kind of labeling convention that Homes other in the Sherbet series have followed. It has these little ice cream scoops, all different colors. It's very similar, this can, to the Double Cherry can. I wish I had a can around that I could show you. But yeah, it's very similar to it. It's kind of almost like the same coloration, but the name's changed. It has the inverted triangle here. On the back, it says, again, brewed and packaged by Homes Brewery in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Recycle this can, 16 fluid ounces. Keep cool. Drink fresh, lactose sour, raspberry, strawberry. And the thing on these cans that's really cool is they kind of try to hide. I mean, you can only hide so well on these little ice cream scoops, but they try and hide what the fruit or what the sour ingredient is on these things. On this one, really small here is a raspberry, and down here is a strawberry. That's just a real nice touch, so they kind of hide that in there. It's just kind of cool, to know that they're kind of switching it up. It's not just like a palette swap. It's not like some Mortal Kombat Ninja where they just change the colors. They actually are putting some other stuff in the label, some thought behind it. So I'm going to grab... On the drones video you just saw, or portion that you just saw, I used my Homes Tiku, and this time I'm going to use my Draft Therapy Tiku that I got printed on Amazon, and I'll leave a link in that for that down below. Not for Draft Therapy. If you want to get Draft Therapy, let me know. I'll send you the logo, but you can get your own thing on there. You can get words. You can get a logo. You put whatever you want on there. It's your glass. So let's go ahead and open this up. I'll give it a smell out of the can like I usually do. Getting a lot of raspberry. Nice sour smell. Smells really good. I'm getting a lot of I guess I am getting a hit of strawberry just out of the glass here. Let's go ahead and pour this one. Ooh, nice and red. Kind of a dark purplish reddish. More on the red side than purple though. Pour a little bit more in there. The head looks nice and creamy. It's kind of like that pink head to kind of complement the beer here itself. Hold it up to the light. Not transparent. Definitely hazy, so to speak. It's just not clear. You can tell there's a lot that's floating in here, a lot in suspension. Let's go ahead and give it a better nose right out of the glass here. Yeah, getting a lot of that sour scent right off the bat. It smells really sweet. Definitely has the raspberry, and you can smell the strawberry too. The strawberry seems like it's a little bit more faint than the raspberry. The raspberry really comes up front in the scent. But I'm going to go ahead and give this a taste. Cheers. Okay. Now, I thought guava was the best one, to be honest. My favorite so far has been guava. This one is really, really good. Definitely picking up on the raspberry. I think just like the scent, the strawberry is a little bit deeper in there than the raspberry is. It's got a nice sour, kettle sour, you know, you can taste the lactose. There's that sweetness in there. It's got that nice kettle sourness. You know, I hold myself off from trying these things. I was at Nucleate, and this was one of the FOMO releases that Homes had, or the Nucleate Festival had, going on opposite corners of this festival, this tent. And I saw Tommy, the owner, and I saw Nick, and they asked me, like, hey, have you tried the Straspberry yet? And I said, no, I haven't. And Tommy was really surprised that these are like reactions. I hold myself from trying these things before I can react to them on these videos. And I'm really glad that I kind of held myself off, because this is, you know, you're at a festival, you're trying all these different beers, and things can get lost, obviously. You drink a lot, and by the end of the festival, you sometimes, if you're not keeping really good notes, you don't remember what you had and what tasted like this and what you liked and what you didn't like. You might pick up a name or two here that you think that, oh yeah, I remember really liking that. But I'm glad I got to kind of taste this separately and get to kind of hold myself off and try it, you know, on its own, and I can really greatly appreciate it. I'm going to give it another drink just because it's that good. Yeah, just another really nice one from Homes. It's got a nice, creamy kind of mouthfeel, not too thin, not too thick. It's not too watery, not too medium. I think with some other wild ales, like wild sours, like some of the fruit sickles from Odd Sides, they're kind of a little bit too much on the watery end. And I think these sherbets from Homes are just, the mouthfeel, they stick it. Nick's been sticking it with the mouthfeel every time. So yeah, again, I just want to take another drink because it's that good. Definitely another winner. If you can get this, if you can get your hands on this, if you know anybody that went to Homes and picked these cans up, definitely hit them up. If you go to Homes, sometimes they have these sours. Like I said, they did a peach vanilla, which they didn't release in cans. That was available in the tap room. Sometimes these things just kind of pop up. So my best advice is to follow them on their social media, their Instagram, their Twitter, their Facebook. If you want to know these different beers that get released, they're really great about letting you know on there. And these can releases, if you want to get in on the can releases, they post these like a week in advance on their social media, so you can kind of make a point to get out there. They've been either on Fridays or Saturdays. It seems like more recently they've been doing their best to have them on Saturdays so that more people can get a hold of them. They have limits, you know. So if you've never been to a beer can release, you know, they're trying to do their best. They want to spread it out so everybody can get a taste of these. And no places love to see their stuff. I mean, obviously they like to see it sell out, but they don't want to see it sell out before the people that want to try it get a chance to try it. So again, I would say follow Homes on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, if you want to know when these things get released, so you can go down there. They do sell out rather quickly. It's not totally out of control, but I know they've got a whole new facility that they're putting together, and I'm sure it's to have increased output on these cans and stuff like that, so that more people that want to get it can get it. All right, friends, these are the latest and the greatest releases from Homes. Two very different styles, but both very good in their own right. Again, if you're looking to get in on these releases, I'd recommend following them on Facebook, on Twitter, or Instagram, all their social media platforms. They usually announce about a week before to give you some time to kind of make arrangements to come and pick them up. If you stop in the brewery, let them know I sent you. If you've had either of these, let me know what you thought in the comments down below this video. And while you're down there, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you like the video. If you like Michigan beer content, I put videos out like this about Michigan beer all over the state twice a week, and I know you don't want to miss any of that. You can also find links to my social media, some merch, the gear that I use, including this custom engraved glass, and my blog at drafttherapy.com. So until next time, I'm Sean from Draft Therapy. Remember, drink craft beer, support your local breweries wherever they are, and don't forget to treat yourself to a little draft therapy. Thanks for watching. Cheers. Homes released drones in cans just last week prior to their first inaugural Nucleate festival.